So I got a LCD thingy-mabobber from China. Nice guy. A lot of his stuff breaks, but it's cheap, so. Anyway, I got it for my Arduino. Go ahead and wire it up to whatever pin you like. I'm going to be going through all the examples, but I changed the pin around from what the examples said. The main difference I did was, instead of using a potentiometer, I just used a resistor. Found out that a 2200 ohm resistor works pretty well for adjusting the contrast on it, otherwise you won't be able to see anything. Anyway, yeah, I'll just be going through all the examples, and each example I'll go ahead and change one thing just to get an understanding for it. Go ahead and plug the battery in. And this is the Hello World one. All it does is say Hello World, obviously, and it just counts. I'm not sure how high it'll count, probably forever. It just counting the seconds things been turned on. Alright, so let's go ahead and change some words on it, and I'll try to avoid any profanities. Well, my writing kind of got cut off there, but I'm sure we'll learn how to fix that in later tutorials. This is the auto scroll example. This is right now just counting up, and the auto scroll starts now, so I assume it kind of just starts at the top row and then goes. There's a scroll function that I'll show you later, but this is just making automatic, so if you had a line of text you wanted to put in and kind of just show it all, which would fix my last problem. But, you know, I guess I should stop talking now, because I've run out of things to say. Alright, well, I kind of got it to work. Probably say this is not the most efficient way of doing this. I just realized I forgot to put a B in Breadboard of Champions. This is the blink example. It can be useful for effects and whatnot if you just don't want a plain old boring text there. Want to zazz it up with some blinkiness. Yeah. And now for something completely different. Now it's a cursor. Alright, so here's where it gets interesting. So interesting that there may even be enthusiasm in my voice. We're doing the custom character example. So this, I literally just loaded the code right on there, and let's see what happens. Oh my god. So it looks like we have a heart in there, a smiley face, and a guy doing jumping jacks. Stand back, guys. But yeah, so it's kind of an animation. It's really just rewriting that, I don't know, block. I don't really know what to call it. That area right there just keeps writing a guy with his arms up and a guy with his arms down, so you can make some simple animations with stuff like that. But let's actually take this over to the computer so I can show you how to make some of your own custom characters. Alright, before we start anything, if you tried to load the example, the custom character example, and you got this error, you can just change that LCD.write 0 line to that. Just add the byte in there. I haven't looked too much into it, why it worked, why it didn't, but that's what you gotta do. Alright, so to make your own custom character, basically how it does it is, I guess you could, in this example it's binary, so I'll stick with binary, but you code each individual row, kind of, and yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, if you really want to look into it, basically you're coding each individual pixel to whatever you want it to be. So this is what the heart is in binary, and just to keep it simple, to create our own custom character, I'm just going to replace the heart so we can keep our old example. And I'll put in the description the link to this, which actually is a website that lets you create your own pretty easily. It'll give you the binary as long as you can draw it. And it comes with a lot of examples below, and this is one of them. It's just kind of a music note. And you see here it says in binary, and then it has all of these numbers. So we want to replace it, that %10 being the first one, that %11 being the second one, and we can just go ahead and replace it. Now that first one's %10, which means the 1 is the first, I don't know, 1. So, like, it would mean that every one of these are going to be zeros. And then that's the first 1. So the next one, there were 2 1s, which would mean the first 3 bits are all zeros. And once you copy all of that, it'll look something like that. So when we plug it in, it should say, I music note Arduino, and then have a jumping jack guy. Let's try it out. Yep. Alright, I went ahead and skipped over to the, I don't know what I skipped over. What did I skip over to? Serial display. That's what I skipped over to. Basically, you can type in on your computer whatever you want, and just hit send. It'll send it to your Arduino. Obviously, we can't have this one hooked up to the battery. We have to have it hooked up to the computer, or if you want to get complicated, some sort of Wi-Fi thing, but that's way over my head. If you want to do that, feel free to make a video and get more views than this video. Make me sad. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. So I typed in breadboard of champions. I'm going to go ahead and send it and see what happens. And it gets cut off. But that's life. Type anything in here. Just type in a frowny face. Send it. And sure enough, it's sad. This is the scroll example, similar to the auto scroll, just more manual so you can edit which way it goes, how far it goes, etc., etc. And hopefully we'll be able to fix my breadboard of champions being cut off. Sad face. Okay, get excited, guys. Yeah, I got it. Should probably change that to a happy face, 'cause I'm feeling happy face.